All right, hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. This time, I think we're looking at something a little different.
Yeah, definitely.
This is Fintana, right?
Yes.
I think a lot of you guys have been asking about
A
them.
lot of questions about Fintana.
So we've got a couple of sources here.
Yeah.
We've got a review from Top Brokers 360,
Great sort.
and then we've also got just some information straight from Fintana's own website.
Bro.
So kind of mesh those together and see what we can learn.
For sure. Let's see what they're all about.
Yeah, so maybe we can just start with the basics, like what is Fintana? What do they offer?
Well, they're a CFD broker,
Okay.
which means they're providing access to contracts for difference.
Mm-hmm.
So with these contracts, you're basically riding the wave of price movements without actually owning the asset.
Okay, so you're not buying like a share of Apple. You're just saying like, hey, I think Apple's going to go up or down, and
Exactly.
I'm going to.
It's all about leveraging those price swings
Okay.
for potential profit, of course. Now, what's interesting is they're a relatively new player in the market.
Okay.
They launched just this year, 2024.
Wow. Brand new.
Yeah, just a baby.
Out of Mauritius.
That's right. They operate from Mauritius and are regulated by the Financial Services Commission there.
Interesting. Okay. So what are some of the maybe advantages and drawbacks of Fintana that we saw?
Right. Well, the Top Brokers 360 review, they highlight some pretty attractive pros. High leverage options going all the way up to 1.400, zero commission on deposits. They boast strong customer support.
Oh, nice.
And of course, the big one, a very wide variety of CFD offerings.
Okay.
They've got a strong regulatory framework as well, being regulated by the FSC.
Yeah, definitely important. Yeah.
However, they do mention a con, which is applicable dormant fees.
Oh, okay. So if you're not active, they're going to start taking a little cut.
Exactly. Unfortunately, neither source actually reveals the exact amount of this fee.
Oh, okay. So we don't know how much that'll cost us.
Not from what we've got here.
No.
It would be best to check Fintana's fee schedule directly.
Yeah, definitely always a good idea to read the fine print.
Absolutely.
So they do seem to, it sounds like they've got a pretty good platform.
Yes. Their platform seems to be their crown jewel, based on the review.
Yeah, let's dig into that a little bit. So they've got their own proprietary web trader platform and a dedicated mobile app as well.
Which is great for accessibility. You can trade from pretty much any device, your desktop, your mobile phone, tablet.
Really? So they're trying to like reach everybody, every kind of trader out there.
It seems so.
Awesome.
The review goes on to list quite a few features. One-click trading, over 60 analytical tools, an STP execution model.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is quite a lot. They also mention real-time market updates, customizable charts, secure access,
Yeah.
multi-language support, even integration with Trading Central.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And of course, for those who want to test the waters first, they offer a demo account.
Okay. So is that, I mean, it sounds really impressive on paper. Is that, how does that stack up against the competition? Do we know?
That's the million-dollar question, right? I mean, it sounds great, but does it actually deliver?
Right.
We need to consider, is it truly user-friendly? Or just a ton of bells and whistles that could overwhelm a new trader?
Right. Yeah.
And how does it compare to other platforms from more established brokers in terms of speed, reliability, the depth of those analytical tools?
Yeah.
Those are things we need to look into further.
Right. You can't just, take their word for it.
Exactly.
So you mentioned all the assets earlier.
Right.
It sounds like they've got a ton. Like, what all do they offer?
They really do offer a smorgasbord of assets. We're talking Forex pairs galore, including major, minor, even those more exotic pairs,
Right.
indices, commodities like precious metals, your gold, your silver.
Right.
They're even in the crypto cool with Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Oh, wow. Keeping up with the times.
Oh, yeah. And of course, shares are in the mix, too.
So they're really, it sounds like they're trying to be like a one-stop shop for traders.
That's the impression I get, cater to a variety of trading appetites.
Yeah. And do you think that strategy, like, makes sense? Is that something that you see a lot of other brokers doing, or is this kind of a new approach?
It's a bold move, that's for sure. Trying to cater to such diverse interests could be a double-edged sword.
Okay.
Will they be able to provide the depth and expertise needed for each asset class, or will they spread themselves too thin?
Right. Yeah.
That's something to keep in mind.
Definitely. All right. So let's talk about the account options, because it sounds like they have several different account types.
They do. They offer 5 distinct account types: Classic, Silver, Gold, Platinum, and VIP.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of options.
It is. Now, all of them require a $250 minimum deposit, which is pretty standard,
Okay.
and offer up to 1.400 leverage on Forex trading.
All right, so that's high risk, high reward kind of territory, right?
Exactly.
So let's walk through these different account types. Like, what's the difference between them?
Sure, so the classic account is clearly geared towards those who are no to trading. It offers competitive spreads, access to all the assets we discussed, and a 2.5 pips spread on the Euro USD pair.
Okay.
Plus, they have negative balance protection.
Okay, and that's like a safety net.
Exactly. It ensures you can't lose more than you've deposited.
Yeah, definitely good for, starting out.
Absolutely.
What about if you want to move up a little bit, what's the next level?
Well, the silver account steps in, offering a swap discount for holding trades overnight
Okay.
and some additional educational resources.
So they're starting to add a little bit more,
Yes, a bit more to help you along.
right? And then we get to gold.
Gold gets you even tighter spreads, like
Yeah.
1.8 pips on Euro UC,
Okay.
and unlocks trading in metals.
Ooh, interesting.
You keep the swap discount from silver
Right.
and get access to a broader range of trading strategies.
So getting a little more advanced now.
A little more, for those with a bit more experience under their belt.
Gotcha. So then I'm guessing platinum and VIP are for the real pros.
You got it. Platinum is definitely for the more professional traders.
Oh, wow.
We're talking even tighter spreads at 1.4 pips on EURUSD.
Wow.
And personalized support, it's like having a trading concierge at your beck and call.
Okay, so they're really taking care of you there.
Oh, yeah. And then VIP, well, the name speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's the top tier.
Red carpet treatment for high-volume traders. Lowest spreads, 0.9 pips on EURUSD.
That's amazing.
The best trading conditions, a dedicated support team practically on speed dial.
Wow, so they really roll out the red carpet for those VIPs.
They certainly do.
Okay, so we've got the platform, we've got the assets, we've got all these different account tiers.
Right.
But, I mean, all of that is useless if it's not secure.
You're absolutely right.
So what can you tell us about Fintana's, security and regulations? How solid is their foundation?
Well, both sources are very clear about their regulation. They're regulated by the Financial Services Commission of Mauritius,
Okay.
which means they need to adhere to strict financial standards, operate transparently. They also highlight the segregation of client funds, so your money is kept separate from Fintana's own funds.
Okay, so that adds an extra layer of protection.
Exactly. It's a good sign.
Awesome. Well, let's get into some of the nitty-gritty details.
Okay.
The practical stuff, like deposits, withdrawals.
Right. The day-to-day.
Yeah, any surprises there? Anything we need to know?
Well, the minimum deposit, as we mentioned, is $250.
Okay.
And they offer a variety of payment options.
Oh, good.
Credit cards, wire transfers, and even some alternative payment methods.
So they're trying to be flexible.
It seems so, however. Withdrawals, they do take a bit longer, 8 to 10 business days.
Oh, okay. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yes, if you need your money quickly, that could be an issue.
Yeah, maybe not the best option if you need it, tomorrow.
Probably not.
But it sounds like at least they're putting effort into the customer support side of things.
Yes, that's true. They offer email, live chat, and phone support.
So all the major ones.
All the bases are covered.
Awesome. And they've got a good FAQ section too, right?
They do. They mention a comprehensive FAQ section on their website, which can be really helpful for quick answers.
Yeah, I love a good FAQ section. It can save you so much time and hassle.
Absolutely. It shows they're trying to anticipate user needs
Yeah,
and be proactive.
right.
So taking everything into consideration, what's your initial impression of Fintana? They're new, tech-focused, trying to reach a broad audience.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, right? I mean, they're a new player, but they seem to be doing a lot of things right.
They do. It'll be interesting to see how they evolve over time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's potential there for sure, but only time will tell if they can really sustain this momentum.
Right.
Can they maintain this level of innovation? Will their platform live up to the hype?
Yeah.
And will they attract, and more importantly, retain a loyal user base?
Those are all really good questions.
Crucial questions. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new features,
Oh, yeah,
but it's important to remain a bit skeptical.
definitely. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but there's still more to explore.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to take a quick pause, and when we come back, we'll dive into some of Fintana's more unique aspects.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We're back, and I'm still thinking about that whole Mauritius thing.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice.
It's not exactly like, the Wall Street of the Indian Ocean or anything.
True, it's not the first place you think of when you think of global finance,
Right.
but I think it would be a mistake to just dismiss it as a tropical paradise.
Okay.
Mauritius has been strategically developing its financial services sector
Hmm.
for decades.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah, they've been actively courting international businesses and have
Wow.
actually put in place a pretty robust regulatory framework to ensure stability and transparency.
Okay.
They've become a significant player, especially in things like investment funds, offshore banking,
Wow.
and, increasingly in this world of fintech. So Fintana setting up shop in Mauritius, it could be a pretty strategic move.
It could be definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
They get to benefit from this well-regulated environment. They have access to a global network.
Yeah.
And importantly, they have a government that's really keen on promoting innovation in the financial sector.
Interesting.
So it could be a very savvy way to position themselves, as a bit of a disruptor in the industry.
Yeah, like they're coming out of nowhere, but they're in this place where they've got all this support.
Exactly.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it adds a new dimension to their story, I think.
It does.
And it's a good reminder that the financial landscape is constantly shifting.
Yeah,
There are new centers of power emerging all the time.
that's true. Yeah, it's not what it was 20 years ago.
Not at all.
So it really underscores the need for us as investors or people looking at these platforms to really do our due diligence.
Yeah, absolutely. Critical thinking is key.
Yeah.
We need to look beyond just the familiar names
Mm.
and really dig deeper into the context.
Right.
Where are they based? What are their long-term goals? What's
Yeah.
the regulatory environment like?
It's like a whole new set of questions we need to ask.
Exactly. Due diligence for the modern investor.
I like that. Okay, so another thing that stood out to me was just how much both of our sources emphasize Fintana's focus on technology,
Yes, the tech and the user experience are front and center.
like that web trader platform, being able to use it on your phone, your tablet, your computer.
It's a smart move. You know how integral mobile technology has become?
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody wants to be tied to their desktop these days.
We got to be able to trade on the go.
Exactly. And it seems like Fintana's really targeting that tech-savvy audience,
Right.
investing in a platform that meets those expectations.
It makes you wonder,
Mhm.
is this going to become the new standard? Are other brokers going to have to step up their game?
It's definitely possible. The financial industry is incredibly competitive,
Yeah.
and innovation spreads quickly.
Those who don't adapt, they risk falling behind.
So it's adapt or die, basically.
In a sense, yeah, survival of the fittest, finance edition.
I like that, but, we also have to remember Fintana's still new to the game.
Right, they're a fresh face.
Yeah.
Their long-term success hinges on a lot of factors.
Right.
Can they keep innovating? Can they attract a loyal customer base?
Yeah. Will their technology actually stand the test of time?
Exactly, all important questions.
Because it's easy to get, caught up in all the shiny features.
Oh, absolutely, it's tempting.
Yeah.
But we need to maintain that healthy skepticism.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So we've talked about the tech. We've talked about where they're based, their diverse assets.
Mm-hmm.
What about their commitment to education?
Right, because the review mentions that they offer trading education.
Yeah. Is that just a basic thing, or are they really going all in on this?
Well, their website actually goes into a bit more detail.
Okay.
They talk about an education center with various courses.
Ranging from introductory to advanced levels.
Okay, so they're not messing around.
They also offer things like an economic calendar, market analysis, even a trading glossary.
So they're really trying to build a knowledge base for their users.
It seems that way, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it's good to see a broker that's not just like, here's the platform, good luck.
Right. It's more than just giving you the keys to the car.
Yeah,
They're trying to give you some driving lessons, too.
I like that analogy.
And it makes sense for them, right?
Yeah.
A more informed trader is probably going to be more active
Right,
and potentially more profitable.
makes sense.
But it's also beneficial for the trader, of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The more you understand the markets,
Mm-hmm.
the better decisions you can make.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a win-win.
Exactly. It really highlights that successful trading isn't just about numbers and charts.
Yeah.
It's about psychology, it's about strategy,
Right.
and it's about continuous learning.
It's almost like a mental game as much as it is a financial one.
Precisely. It requires discipline, risk management, the ability to stay calm under pressure.
Yeah, because it's not like just buying and holding stocks.
No, no, CFD trading is more active
Yeah,
short term.
higher risk, higher reward, right. So
Exactly.
there's not something to just jump into blindly.
Definitely not. And I think Fintana's focus on education, whether it's altruistic or in their own self-interest,
Right.
it at least provides some resources to help traders make more informed decisions.
Yeah, I think that's great, and I hope more brokers start doing that.
I agree, it's a good step.
Okay, so let's move on to customer support.
Okay.
Both sources mention Fintana's multi-channel approach,
Mm-hmm. Email, live chat, phone support.
which, I mean, it's pretty standard these days.
It is, but it's good to see they're not neglecting it.
Yeah, for sure.
They also highlight their FAQ section again.
Yeah, I love a good FAQ.
A well-organized FAQ can be a lifesaver.
Oh yeah, it can save you so much frustration.
Exactly.
Like waiting on hold or waiting for an email reply.
Nobody wants that.
So it seems like they're really thinking about their users.
Yeah, anticipating their needs, trying to provide solutions proactively.
It's all about building that trust and loyalty.
It is. People need to feel supported,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they're dealing with their hard-earned money.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's take a step back and look at the big picture.
All right.
What are our key takeaways from this Fintana deep dive so far?
Well, they're a young, ambitious CFD broker operating from a strategically chosen location.
Right. Very interesting location.
They're really betting big on technology and user experience,
Yeah.
offering this sleek platform that you can use on any device.
Right. And they're not just throwing you in the deep end?
No, they're providing educational resources,
Yeah.
different account types,
Mhm.
and multiple customer support channels.
So they're trying to create a whole ecosystem for their traders.
I think that's a good way to put it, a holistic approach.
Yeah.
But, we also have to remember
Right.
to keep things in perspective.
Yeah.
They're still unproven in the long run.
Right. Yeah. They're the new kid on the block.
Exactly. Their success is going to depend on navigating this ever-changing market,
Right.
maintaining their technological edge,
Mm-hmm.
and building that solid reputation for reliability and customer satisfaction.
So due diligence is still key.
Absolutely.
Do your research, weigh the risks and the rewards, and make sure it aligns with your financial goals.
Well said. Don't just blindly follow the hype.
Great advice. Okay, we're going to take another short break,
Okay,
and when we come back, we'll wrap up our Fintana deep dive.
sounds good.
So stick with us. We're back, and it has been, wow, a pretty deep dive into Fintana.
Yeah, they're a fascinating case study, really.
I mean, it really just highlights how, technology is changing finance.
Yeah, it's happening right in front of our eyes.
And so quickly, too.
Right, it's like blurring the lines between traditional finance and tech.
It really makes you think, where is this all going? What's the future hold for, us as investors and these online brokers?
It is interesting to think about.
It's exciting, but it's also, a little overwhelming.
I get that. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to keep up with.
There's new platforms popping up all the time, it seems like.
It's true. New options, new information. It can feel like a lot, even for, people who follow this stuff closely.
Right. So it sounds like what you're saying is we need a good way to, filter all of that.
We need a framework, a way to evaluate these providers.
Yeah. So what would you say, are the most important things to look for?
Well, first, don't get swept up in the hype.
Right.
All the promises of easy money, the flashy ads.
Easy to get, caught up in all of that.
Oh, absolutely. So focus on the fundamentals,
Okay.
regulation, security,
Right.
transparency, and most importantly, does it align with your goals?
Yeah, that's a good point, because we all have different goals, right?
Exactly. You need to find the right fit for you.
So Fintana is trying to be, everything to everybody.
Right. They want to cater to beginners and pros.
And do you think that's possible? Can they actually do that well?
It's a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
Balancing the needs of those different groups is tricky.
Right, what a beginner needs is going to be so different
Yeah, very different.
from what someone who's been trading for, 10 years needs.
It's a tightrope walk, trying to make it user-friendly, but also sophisticated enough for experienced traders.
Right, so could they end up being like a jack of all trades, master of none?
It's a risk, yeah, but I think there's also potential for something really interesting to happen.
Okay, what's that?
Imagine having all these experienced traders on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
It could create this really dynamic environment, almost like a mentorship opportunity.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, so beginners can learn from the pros.
Exactly, a community of shared learning.
And that's something you don't really get with, traditional investing, right?
Right, it's usually a much more solitary experience.
Yeah, but online, it's all about connecting.
Yeah, finding your tribe, learning, and growing together.
And we're seeing that more and more, right?
Absolutely. Robo-advisors, micro-investing apps, platforms like Fintana.
It's like they're making investing more accessible.
Exactly. Opening doors, empowering a new generation of
I
investors.
mean, that's pretty powerful.
It is, but, we also need to be realistic.
Yeah.
Just because it's accessible doesn't mean it's easy. You
Right.
still need to make informed decisions.
So, still got to do your research
Always understand the
and
risks.
don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Yeah, that's timeless advice.
Absolutely. Okay, so as we wrap up this Fintana deep dive, what's like one last thought you want to like our listeners with?
Well, we're seeing these lines blur between finance and tech.
Hmm.
So think about this. What role will companies like Fintana play in the future of investing?
Oh, that's a good one.
Will they be leading the charge? Or will they be overtaken by even more disruptive innovations?
Hmm. That's a tough question, but it's a really important one to think about.
It is. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
I agree. I think we're in for some really interesting times.
I think so too.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Oh, wow. Time flies.
It really does, especially when you're having fun talking about finance.
It does. It does.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Fintana.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And be sure to check out the show notes for more information.
There's some good stuff in there.
And until next time, keep diving deep.